I never finished high school. And like I was saying, I've never graduated from anything. Never graduated from university. I never graduated from high school. And so when I got my honorary doctorate from, not an honorary degree, from the Grant MacEwan, I was very pleased that I'd finally got something. But I almost got there. So the experience in the city was that my sister and my brother were also in the sanatorium with TB. So my mother was a cleaning lady. She had about 30 customers that she cleaned their houses, and that's how we survived in the city. My dad was working full time, but with 9 kids, it's very, very difficult. And he just couldn't make enough money. So my mom was very enterprising, and she was very good at what she did. And I know I tried to help her this one time, but if you haven't got the routine, you're not very good. You probably cause more trouble and lose more time than if I wasn't there. So I ended up watching the kids. I wasn't well enough to go back to school, which was very, very devastating to me, but I was good enough to watch the children. So I did, and it was probably the worst time in my life when I thought that I was going to lose track of getting anywhere in life. I was just going to watch kids. I can say categorically that they didn't want the natives in any of the unions except the laborers. And Jack Dick made a guarantee that if our guys took the 2-week training course, they were guaranteed a job. And that's how they got on. That's the only way they got on. And he had to fight the other unions, and he was ostracized because they didn't want him to do that, didn't want the Native people in there. And I remember being in northern Saskatchewan and big discussion about the development there. And one of the union guys says very loudly, "No goddamn Indian's gonna take my job." So that animosity against the Native people was very prominent in those early days, and still exists today as well. It's just different way of doing it. But so we were up against the discrimination at all levels, in all companies, in all unions, and I guess the most hurtful thing was one of my 7 brothers was very, very prejudiced. The irony was he was quite dark looking. He had dark hair, dark eyes, but it really hurt me. But then I thought, why should my brother be any different than all those other people? He lives in this society. The racism is rampant. The prejudice is there. The idea that Native workers weren't fit to work and didn't want to work was out there. And why? So I accepted that and lived with it. But I don't know why I turned out the way I did. I don't know. On the job site, the Syncrude job site, there were 3,000 men and 300 women. When I examined the first aid records, the prescription of Valium was given equally to men and women for anxiety. So our women got more Valium than anyone on that job. And you can understand, I mean, I completely understand why that would happen, but why was it necessary? Why were the women so distressed that they took Valium? They didn't want the women there, but our women were determined to get on that job and put up with all the swearing and the degrading comments that were given to them. So it's completely understandable that they would want to take some relief from that, but it's awful that they were so distressed that they took the Valium.